Have you ever felt like something was wrong in your relationship, but you couldn't put your finger on it? Everything looks normal on the surface, but deep down, you feel a distance, a change, a shift you can't explain. Most men brush it off and hope it's just a phase. But the truth is, women don't always say what they feel directly. Instead, they play games. And if she's playing these 5 games, chances are she's already cheating on you, or at least preparing to. Now, before we dive in, let me say this clearly. Not every woman who does one of these things is automatically cheating. But when several of these patterns show up together, it's rarely an accident. These games are psychological tactics. They're shields, excuses, and distractions. And if you pay close attention, you'll see the truth behind them. The first game is the blame game. Have you noticed that suddenly everything is your fault? She used to take responsibility, but now, if she's late, it's because you didn't remind her. If she feels distant, it's because you're not affectionate enough. If she's unhappy, it's because you don't understand her. This constant shift of blame is not random. It's a way for her to rewrite the story in her head. By painting you as the problem, she makes it easier to justify her actions, especially if she's giving her attention to another man. It's classic projection. She accuses you, so she doesn't have to look at her own behavior. The second game is the disappearing act. At first, you don't notice it. She says she's busy with work or hanging out with friends, but then the patterns start to show. She used to call you during breaks. Now her phone is always about to die. She used to answer quickly. Now hours go by with dry one-word replies. Yet, when you see her in person, she's glued to her phone. This disappearing act is one of the biggest red flags in female psychology. When a woman suddenly becomes unavailable to you, it's often because she's available to someone else. The third game is building a privacy wall. Suddenly, her phone is off limits. She used to hand it to you to pick a song in the car. Now, it's face down on the table, locked with new passwords you don't know. If you ask about it, she calls you insecure or controlling. Think about that. If there's nothing to hide, why hide it? When a woman guards her phone like it's a vault, it usually means there are secrets inside, conversations, messages, pictures that would change the way you see her. The fourth game is the emotional switch. This one is tricky because it makes you doubt yourself. One day, she's sweet, affectionate, and loving. The next day, she's cold, distant, and annoyed by everything you do. You keep wondering, what did I do wrong? But in reality, it's not you. Her emotions are divided. She's splitting her energy between you and someone else. That hot and cold behavior is her way of juggling 2 different realities, and you're only seeing the leftovers. The fifth game is picking fights on purpose. This is one of the oldest tricks in the book. She starts arguments out of nowhere. She turns small issues into big battles. She might even accuse you of cheating when you've done nothing at all. Why? Because by creating constant drama, she distracts you from asking the real questions. The more you're busy defending yourself, the less likely you are to notice her own disloyalty. It's reverse psychology. She hides her cheating by making you feel guilty for things you never did. Now, here's the truth most men don't want to face. When a woman plays these games, it's not random. These are not accidents. Female psychology shows us that these tactics are defense mechanisms. They're ways to cover guilt, shift responsibility, and keep you blind. In other words, these games are the smoke she throws in your eyes so you don't see the fire that's already burning behind the scenes. So what should you do if you notice these signs? The first instinct for most men is to chase harder, to beg, to argue, to demand answers. But let me warn you, this almost never works. If she's already cheating, she's already gone in her heart. No amount of begging will bring her back. This is where Stoicism comes in. A Stoic man doesn't panic when the truth reveals itself. He doesn't lose control. He doesn't cling to someone who's already left him in spirit. Instead, he steps back. He observes, He accepts the truth for what it is. And then he makes the choice that protects his peace of mind. The reality is simple. The right woman doesn't play games. She doesn't need to hide. She doesn't need to accuse. She doesn't need to pull away. A woman who truly loves you chooses you with clarity, not confusion. She gives you peace, not puzzles. So, if you see these games in your relationship, don't ignore them. Don't explain them away. Pay attention. Because the sooner you see the truth, the sooner you can free yourself from lies and build a life where trust and love are real. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe for more insights on Stoicism, relationships, and the psychology of attraction. And remember, strength is not holding on when everything is falling apart. Strength is letting go with dignity when the truth is clear.